Today we have the pleasure of having Dr. Adam Masters from the ANU. He teaches in the Criminology department at the Centre of Social Research and Methods, and he also researches corruption and anti-corruption and all sorts of manners of interesting things. And he's currently the undergraduate convener of the Bachelor of Criminology program, and he's also convening the Special Topics in Criminology course this semester. So welcome, Adam.
Thanks, Cameron.
Fantastic. So I guess the first question for those people watching, what is the course that you're currently convening, and what is the special topic?
Okay, the course that I'm currently convening is Crim 2011 Special Topics in Criminology. It was designed early on in the Criminology program as what we call a hollow log course. So it gives us the opportunity to try out different ideas. I've always wanted to teach a topic on art crime.
Okay.
And a colleague of mine from one of the UK universities, Saskia Hufnagel, has just published at the end of 2019 this monstrous tome.
Wow, gosh.
The Handbook on Art Crime. And it's pretty much, I bought it and like a crazy academic, I read the entire thing. There's the opportunity, you know, there's everything in there packaged up for a course on art crime. So we're covering things like forged paintings, theft of art, using art for money laundering, where organised crime comes into the picture, exploitation of Indigenous artists. There's all sorts of criminality that links in to art. And I'm actually expanding a little further than what's actually in the handbook. I mean, there's 38, 39 chapters in there, and you'd think it covers everything. But one of the things I never talked about was really when the artist is a criminal or a criminal becomes an artist.
Yeah.
Well, so there's that interaction as well. And the other thing that I'm doing with it is really kind of shaping it up into a different style of teaching. Look, my background, I worked with the AFP for 18 years. I worked for government for 24 years in total. And I was a latecomer to university, to say the least. I started my bachelor's degree when I was 36.
Wow.
And I haven't left the ANU since then. So I'm kind of a product of the environment.
Yes.
And one of the things that I'm always concerned about is, are we teaching stuff that's going to be work relevant?
Yeah.
So what I've woven into this course is 4 short written assessments. Because when you're writing government reports, when you're writing reports for an NGO or a business report, they're short. They're not 3,000 words, they're not 6,000 words. So I've got as assessment pieces a case study to begin with, and then a desktop review. Yeah, investigating an art crime or a piece of art through a desktop review.
Right.
Then getting out and doing some field report as well. So what you discover on the computer, what you discover on the internet, then go out and experience it. And the last is, it is an essay, but it's a biographical essay.
Right. Okay.
And when you're doing things like intelligence assessments and stuff like that, understanding somebody's life and how it fits into crime.
Well, that sounds fantastic. I mean, you know, criminology as a program, as a discipline, as you were saying, is relatively young. And, you know, this sounds like a course that I would have loved to have done in my undergraduate. You know, it obviously wasn't an option for me, but it is an option for those students currently studying.
Well, everybody I've talked to about this, whether they're artists, whether members of my family, Matt Gray, the director of CSRM, they've all said, I want to do this course. You know, it's fun. And look, the students know this already, so it's no giveaway at all. Yeah. It's also an excuse for me to sort of pull out all my holiday snaps, because I've been thinking about this stuff for years. So I've got photographs from, you know, forgeries in museums in Vienna, vandalized artwork in Moscow, artwork, you know, sculptures, religious sculptures in China, all sorts of stuff from my travels. And I'm just kind of using this as the old family slideshow of, you know, on my travels, this is what I've done.
This is what I've done, absolutely.
But that said, that actually ties way back to the way I learned about stuff.
Mm.
When I was at high school, many decades ago, I can't even say years.
We won't mention it. It's fine.
My favourite teacher was somebody who'd been a traveller, and she'd come back and she'd talk about history, and they were literally slides. This is pre-PowerPoint.
Wow, gosh.
And she'd put up slides. And this is in the Cold War, mind you. She travelled from China to Berlin and followed the path of Genghis Khan.
Wow.
Now, I was a terrible student. I never wrote anything down in that course. I failed the course, but I learnt a lot.
Yeah.
I used to sit there and listen, and I always thought, that's the way I want to teach. I want to take my experiences, whether it's tied to the experiences with the Federal Police, the work I did with Interpol, my own studies, experience from study, and use that experience as kind of experiential learning. And I think it makes the learning deeper. It makes an impression. I want students to walk out of my courses, and in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, in 30 years' time, I'll go, this is what I learned, and this is how I learned it, and I'll remember this stuff.
So I guess talking more broadly about teaching during COVID, how do you think COVID has changed the teaching landscape? Has it forced teachers or academics to be more innovative and sort of go outside of their comfort zone, do you think?
Absolutely. I mean, we're here talking on camera now, and we're dealing with students who are camera shy. We're dealing with people with technological issues. And the NBN isn't all it was promised, as we're aware. But the reality is, we're still, a lot of it's there. It's happening. And we've been forced to shift very, very quickly. One of the things that I tried out, because all my colleagues had taught through the first semester, I started the first lecture with a little exercise, broke everybody into their little Zoom breakout rooms.
Yeah.
Introduce yourselves, blah, 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 icebreaker. And I said, okay, and the things I want you to do is tell me what you love about Zoom.
Okay.
I don't want to hear the bad stuff. We know
the bad stuff.
Spiel off the bad stuff. But what do you love about it?
Yeah.
What's good? What works for you? And I said, the other thing is, we've got field exercises. If we have to go back into some type of lockdown, come up with a couple
what happens then?
Of what we can do.
Yeah.
And it set a positive tone to the course right from
the get-go.
And I mean, the thing that I love about Zoom, and the thing that I said to them is, the typical tutorial, you walk in, there's 15, 20 students there. Day one, you give them a little piece of cardboard, they write their name on it, and you never see that piece of cardboard again.
That's about right too.
And suddenly you've got a room full of 15 people called Hey You, which is awful. Zoom, their name's there. So if I've got the gallery view on, I can see everybody's names.
Yeah.
And it's, to me, that's a better personal connection. So where there's distance, there's one thing, but it's also bringing us closer together.